Hi guys, it's Kai. This is going to be episode 1 of the Reddit review series. This is where every single day I'm going to be uploading a VOD review from Reddit, where people in the Overwatch University subreddit have submitted a VOD review request, and I go over it. Today we're going to be going over this Diamond 3 Wrecking Ball, and his post states that, "Hey all, this is a recent game of mine on Shambali. My team ended up losing, and admittedly I got upset and rhetorically asked why my team was so scared to shoot. My team said I wasn't good at Wrecking Ball, and that made me think about what I was doing in the game. The scoreboard, I'm aware stats on everything, shows that I had the most damage on my team and 1 minute 30 of contest time. I mean, that's great. Without real context, none of this really matters because you could just be shooting the tank and sitting on the point instead of actually contesting people. My team was playing Bastion, Widow, Lucio, Brig first round, and then second round, Lucio switches to Ana. So, already, this is your first problem. Why do you care about what your team plays? What what your team plays is none of your concern. The only thing you should be concerned about is how you're gonna actually play around the heroes that you have. Like you wouldn't want to play out of Ana and Bap's LOS, so you would account for that. But you wouldn't be like, oh my god, my team is playing these heroes and these heroes. Nope, you just see who they're playing and you do your best to play around it, right? But even then, it's not that big of a thing. I was making sure to take off angles, trying to draw attention to myself so my team could push, especially targeting their supports. I tried to look to see where my team was a lot of the time, but I found them almost always either fragmented, specifically the Bastion kind of being in the middle of nowhere, or a Widow out of the fight, or clumped in one area fighting a couple of people and losing. Okay, this might be a case of where you think you're doing things, but you're not, and that's leading your team to not feeling that confident in actually moving around. But maybe not. I know it sounds like I'm shifting blame to them, and I kind of am. Well, I mean, that's a bad thing. You shouldn't be blaming them. But I want to know if maybe I should have pushed more or less, or peeled more or something. Maybe it's just an exchange of toxicity. Yeah, on ball, you can peel sometimes. Because obviously, you have the shields that you can give to your team and you can slam people. But I unless it's really convenient and there's nothing better to do, I wouldn't recommend you just immediately go for peeling. Just because ball's going to be a lot more effective at disrupting the people looking at your teammates who are getting dove or whatever, instead of just going back to shoot the the diver. So we're just going to take a look at this game quick. I'll set it to 20. And we'll see what we want to do. So on ball, obviously we want to be on flanks constantly, and we want to constantly distract the enemies so that our teammates can shoot them. That's the whole thing on ball. Okay, nice. Okay, we're showing presence. Don't be afraid of a Widow. Just go. Okay, nice. See, I would like to see this pretty consistently. I do like that you didn't engage straight away. Why? Because it would just be you against the Widow, and she's not shooting anyone. But when you see that she's distracted, then you go for her. Because if we spectate her, she's actually aiming down main to shoot people, and then this is when you go for her. So that's the timing you want on ball. So this is good. Okay, we kill Widow. And we kill Mercy. Yeah, no. Just shoot! Just shoot your gun! Bro, she was one. Just do the spin and then shoot. That's it. Don't don't do this bullshit where you keep spinning because you're gonna miss out on a kill. Right? You got a 1 HP, go for the spin, right? She lives, and then as soon as your ammo comes back, just shoot. You have no reason to not just shoot the Mercy, because if this guy lives now, this is on you. Okay, we're shooting, cool. I don't mind this. I mean, it's not really a lot else you can do other than just hope they die. So this is just whatever. Okay. Okay, cool. We got a kill. We just go for the Juno now. Alright, nice. I like the target priority here. Why? Because yes, the Ryan is on your team, and it's not great. but you're going to be more valuable stopping the Widow from shooting your team. So this is good. But I would, okay, now that she's gone though, by the way, I would now go back to the run. Like, I would not do this. Right, I would, once the Widow gets out and she's no longer a threat in the fight, like once she grapples, this is no longer your problem. She cannot shoot anyone on your team, so now you just turn around and shoot run. And I know, like, in this game, he died basically straight after, so you could do this, but because he's contesting the objective, you just want to kill him as soon as possible, and then you can go fight the Widow. But now that he's dead, you can go fight this guy. Good job getting the kill, and now we run. Okay, now this is where I'd like to see you set up somewhere. Now, judging by where the car is probably going to be somewhere over here when they get back. So I'd like to see you set up maybe over here. Maybe even, like, it's kind of far, but if you can get behind them somehow. Like, just like somewhere over here maybe. This is kind of far, but I'd basically recommend either playing here, waiting for them to start shooting on the high ground so that you can boot them off, or set up somewhere over here so that when the enemies try and take this kind of ramp, you can kill them. But I kind of recommend being over here because it just gives you the most options. You can go up here, you can go over here to contest this high ground if you need to, you can boot them off this high ground, you can swing over here if you need to. It just gives you a lot of options. But let's see what you do. Oh, we just go back to the team. Okay. Well, this isn't good. Because why is this bad now? The Genji knows you're going up here. I don't know if, like, you can see pings. But let's imagine that, like, he pings you or something, right? The Genji saw you going up there. So now that he knows that you're up there, it's going to be way harder to actually catch people by surprise. But I like this. Nice. Good minefield. This is good. I really like this. I think you could have actually shot the Ana as well. There's no reason to just go AFK, right? Because you pop shields. I'm not sure why you pop shields. You have full health. But, like, just shoot Ana, make sure she dies, and then go for the next target. I don't know why you shielded this as well. Because you have full HP, right? Like you made an absolutely great play, and then you just pop shields for no reason. We want to use shields to, like, extend how long we stay engaged and how long we can distract people for. We don't really want to use shields this early when we're not even taking damage. We want to use it after we've taken, like, maybe 100, 200 damage, depending on how much aggression you're taking. And then pop the shields to extend yourself by, like, a second or two, and then get out. Because now, if you wanted to engage in the next, 15 or so seconds, you're not going to have to shield to give you that confidence. But otherwise, I like the play. Now, could you say it's, like, a bit early times or whatever? Maybe, because, their tank hasn't gotten back yet. But I like the play itself. If you want to optimize it, I would have waited for the Ryan to get back so that he can be actually fighting down here. And then you get on his back line. But otherwise, I do like it, and it's a pretty small thing. So we kill Ana. And we're just, like, twiddling our thumbs. Grapple needs to be used with a purpose, right? Your grapple needs to be used to rotate somewhere, to disengage, to boot people, or to engage and set up a slam. Like there has to be a purpose, right? Because, like, this slam or this grapple didn't do anything for you, and now you have no grapple to actually set up and engage, which means the enemies are going to have free space. And now because you've wasted your grapple, you've just ended up on the Ryan, and now maybe take a look at where some enemies are. Right, the Cass is able to be up top for free. He should not be able to be up here. The Brig and the Genji are able to play way closer than they should be. Your job in this comp, especially in this comp, is 99% of the time not going to be the Reinhardt. Yes, it feels bad just leaving him with your team, but you can't do anything to him. Your boop isn't going to do much, your damage isn't going to do anything, your slam isn't going to do anything. Your character is just more valuable distracting his teammates, making sure that they can't follow up on the space that Ryan's making. And because you've got a Bastion and a Widow, The Bastion can shred the shield. The Widow can take like an angle to kind of shoot a squishy. Right? They can deal with the Reinhardt. They have the damage and the sort of movement to like deal with him, right? So it's your job to shoot the cast. Like if someone dies because of the cast, this is your fault. Right, cool. Run dies, but I don't really think it's because of you. Because, let me guess, the Bastion goes into turret form, and he just beams him down. No, he just overextends really badly. Anyway. Now, disengage, I don't really like disengage that much, but I understand why you did it. I would prefer if you grappled onto the high ground and then went behind them first, right? Because you slamming in front of them makes it really easy to react to the slam. Because look at what happens, right? The Brig pulls up the shield. The Cassidy's already able to walk backwards, right? Because they see you slamming. The best time to use slam is on an off angle when they aren't even paying attention to you. So I think the best thing to do in terms of speed, like grapple up in front of them on this window. Right, so let me just fast forward a bit. So like grapple up onto this window and then go around and flank. Why is this good? Because it isn't gonna take you like a billion seconds to do. This is a quick like second or two rotation, and now you've created an off angle which is gonna force the enemies to either look this way or at you, right? They can't choose. And the timing would be good because they're actually looking at your team. They're distracted. And it would also give you an easier time going for a slam because they're not paying attention to you and you're going to be more likely to actually land it. I don't think we had to run away. We had 500 health and shields. We can just keep shooting. Okay. This is fine. Shield's fine. Genji's dead. You don't need to go over there. Why'd you pop shield? Oh, I'll try and help. I mean, you just have to realize that like the Genji's dead, right? Like that's just what you have to realize. Like you hear Genji, but he's dead. That's it. No one's over here. Just that's it. You don't need to go back and peel because the Genji's dead. Okay, now we want to set up. Why do we want to set up? Because doing damage before the fight isn't really going to do too much. Because we just don't do a lot of damage, right? Like at our range. Like you can see that they're not even paying attention to you. But right now, you're kind of set up in a position to shoot the cast. This cast should not be allowed to kill your teammate. But why? Because it's your job to be on this guy. Ball needs to be on squishies who are shooting your own squishies. And where are you? Fucking doing jack shit. You need to disrupt enemies who are actively threats to your team. And Cass is that. You're just ignoring him right now because, oh, I need to shoot the supports. No. You need to shoot the people shooting your team. This is good though. You recognize that Cass is isolated and you go for him. I like that. Okay, we're out of the fight. Out of the fight. You want to get back in the fight as quick as possible here. Okay, the run chases, run. This is where I would like to see you quickly set up, right? Ball is a character that has a lot of movement. So I wouldn't want you to frontline here because the Brig, the Ryan, and the Cass are gonna make it really hard to frontline. So what I want you to do, well, you can do a grapple and then like a slam into the window. I wouldn't hate that. It's not the best. But the best thing you can do is just very quickly grapple over here, get behind them. You always want to be on an off angle or a flank. Well, a flank is an off angle, right? Because, you know, a flank, you're behind them so they can't see you. You just don't want to be in front of the enemy's faces, like, ever. Because, like, what do you do against Ryan? What do you do against Brig in this situation? Nothing. This is good. I kind of like this little movement here. I liked it. I don't like who you're doing it on, but I like that you're actually getting behind people, right? Because like they saw you main, and then you got behind the Ryan. Just like for an example, right? So like you're in front of the Ryan, you leave his vision, and then suddenly you slam behind him. If you can do that to a squishy when they're distracted by your team, you're gonna get a lot of value. But the reason why your teammates seem to be struggling so much is because look at how much free reign the Cass has. Look at how much free reign the Genji has just to play around the map because you're shooting tank. Now this Genji, I don't think he's specifically your problem. Okay. Like maybe if he engaged like really early, or if you already grappled up here and you just happen to find the Genji, you would have been contesting him. But, you know, that's a different thing. Then you can actually help people. But because you're not looking at Cass, he's able to walk on your brig for free. And then he falls to that beat because the brig gets low. This is because you're not on him. And cool, we go back to Peel, but then the Genji gets out, he gets a health back, and he's just going to be hard to kill now. And this whole time, guess what's happening? The enemy team are just shooting your team for free. The runs on, or well, like there's free on your brig. Cass is shooting the Bastion for free. And where are you going for one Genji? Now, no one on your team died immediately, but now there's 2 dead. No, there's not 2 dead because the scoreboard is still bugged. How's this in the game? But yeah, like, you've kind of failed at doing a lot here because you're just going for the wrong targets from the wrong position. So I'd like to see you go for people who are shooting your team more that aren't the Ryan and doing it from an off angle. Also, this slam, I don't really like this slam. You can just grab like you already could just grapple up. You can just grapple up. Like you're already grappling up. Just get up here, and then you can start shooting. Because when you use slam, you're very loud, and now you have 8 seconds until your slam comes back. Yeah, this fight's over. This fight's over. You need to live. Just run. So now we're in the setup phase, right? Team's dead. We need to set up somewhere to where we can very quickly engage the enemies. Where's that gonna be? Well, you're in you're in an okay position. If you get scouted, then they're gonna chase you out, which is bad. But you're set up in a decent spot. It's not a great spot. Why? Because the Cass is gonna have free high ground. Is gonna be able to shoot your team, which is why I recommended earlier to get up here, because you're gonna have more kind of backline control, and you're going to be able to disrupt this like key position rather than just this like weird brawl kind of focused area, right? You want to be like, if I go in a bird's eye view, you want to be in here, in this little room over here. You want to be behind them, not in this little narrow cave area, because this doesn't give you a lot of options. But I'm going to let the game play because it's been 3 minutes and I'm yapping a lot. Okay, this is just too early. Why? Your team is just nowhere near ready to capitalize on anyone being distracted. And I'm going to just say, I'm dying. Coughing break. I'm going to just say it. Your positioning is terrible. You are just nowhere helpful. You could be over here, contesting Genji. You could be setting up behind these guys. And by behind these guys, I mean getting over here. How? By using this massive space that Bull can use freely whenever he wants. But like now you've engaged so early, the Ryan knows you're there, and now you've got to get out, and now you need to spend more time setting up, which is more time where your team doesn't have a tank. Get out of the front line. Get out of the front line, please. I'm begging you. I'm fucking dying today, bro. You need to go. Yes, you finally get it. Nice. We have created an off angle on people who are distracted. This is amazing. Wonderful. Engage this guy. Engage this guy. You can do a grapple slam as well. You don't have to, but you could have grapple slammed the Cass. Why? Because he's not paying attention. Would the Cass be able to react to you grappling and slamming him right now? Like, tell me. Or tell yourself, right? Would Cass really be able to react to you slamming him from behind and then immediately slamming or grappling and then slamming? No, he wouldn't. Why? Because he's already distracted by someone else. Right? Just do the grapple I don't know how exactly you would do it mechanically, but grapple up here, go for a scoop grapple and then slam him. Boom. This is good. Why? Because the enemies are distracted by your team. And then you go for them. Now, I don't like that you went for the Genji in this case. I would have rather you gone for the Cass because the Genji is already fighting 3 people. But the Cass is the one who's going to capitalize on these people, right? So shoot the Cass. Genji isn't going to be able to kill them on his own. And then you stop the Cass from getting follow-up. Also, your shields, I'm gonna be honest. I can see the vision, but if the Brig is dying to one Genji, there's no saving her. Okay, because now you don't have shields to actually hard engage when you want. Okay, nice, nice, nice. You see what I mean? There's no way to react to this. And like, why did this work? Because he just ignored you. He just said, nah, I don't want to shoot you. He fully ignored you. You're on and off angle. You just grapple, slam, and then boom. You see, he can barely react to that. And then he, well, you know, he might not die. He dies. Boom, nice. Now, what's the move? Do we sit here and shoot and shoot shield? No, that's not the worst option. Could we grapple up and then go behind? I mean, we could, but why go through them when we can just grapple up behind them, right? As Bull, you want to constantly be thinking, okay, how can I get in positions that enemies aren't looking at? Where do you think the Rhino and the Brig are currently going to be looking at? Down this angle. They're not going to be looking up here. Like this is okay, but like you can see how hard it is to really like accurately move around, and look, you get shattered. Why? Because you're in front. You and your team should never get shattered at the same time. This is purely a positioning issue. You would have killed this Brig by just grappling up here, going for like a roll or a slam or something, or just shooting even, right? And then you would be less likely to be getting shattered by the Ryan as well as your team. Okay. See, this is where you can do like the peel, right? Because why? Because it's already convenient. Like everyone else is too far away. You wouldn't want to roll all the way out just to go to spawn. Just fight these guys here. So this is good. This is when you would want to peel when there's no one else to really shoot. That is convenient. Okay, Brig's dead. Set up. Where? Use your brain. I don't know. Well, I do know, but use your brain. I want to see where you go. Okay. Okay, you're trying to do a wall climb. That's fine. I actually like the vision here, because like the idea is that you're gonna wait here, wait for them to walk forward, and then grapple up. I actually do like that vision because it puts you behind them in a really oppressive spot. I wouldn't recommend doing it now. Why? Because your team haven't pushed the cut up that far, and the enemies just aren't in. Like, enough. Okay, we're grappling. Cool. We have mines. I would like you to use mines. Don't go for the Rhine. If you go for the Rhine, I'm going to find out where you live and give you a big hug, because clearly you need it. Stop! 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 I'm going to need you to do an immediate cessation of the current activities you are doing. Okay, so let's look at the battlefield currently, right? Should you be going for the Rhine in this situation? I mean, looking at everyone, you could say yes, but right now, the Rhine is low HP, and he's currently fighting against, actually, I mean, Bastion doesn't have turret form, but he's pretty killable. I see no reason why Bastion wouldn't be able to kill him on his own. Okay, I think in this situation, it's okay, but you've got to be wary of, like, okay, if I'm fighting the tank for a little bit, that means I'm giving their DPS and supports full reign to attack my team for free. So you have to take that trade, like knowing this whole time you are not helping your team with squishies, right? Because look at how much value that these guys are just able to get for free because you're just focused on Ryan, right? Genji's able to go in on the Bastion. Why? Because you're not distracting the Genji, right? You're just busy shooting Ryan. It doesn't really matter how killable the Ryan looks. Tanks are tanks, right? In 5v5, tanks are tanks. They take a lot of damage, so even if they're 1 HP, they might not die. And guess what? They don't die. Bastion dies because you're not actually creating space by going for squishies. Now, in practice, the minefield is really good. Or no, in a theory, the minefield is really good, right? You know, because there's a lot of people, you've got a good grapple, good slam. But in practice, it's really bad. Why? Because your teammates can't actually follow up on this. There's no one to follow up. Widow's gone. Lucio has like a decent angle. Brig isn't really able to get close enough to actually do anything to these guys. And also, like, your Bastion's dead. So it's like, you're one down. They're already using Cole. Who is really going to die to this as well? the Ryan's not gonna die to this. He can just swing. He can just swing through the mines and just walk out like a fucking Chad. But I don't hate the mines. Again, I feel like we're just going for the Ryan too much. Like there's a Genji here. There's, you know, Cass and Mora over here. Like, go for anyone other than the Ryan. Let me spectate the Cass for you, just to showcase what you should be doing. Okay, so I'm playing Cassidy. I'm a bitch. I see ball over here. Okay, he pops shields. Okay, I'm gonna go take this off angle. Oh wow, I can shoot these guys for free because this ball is actually trolling. Wow, wow. This game is so easy. Wow, in fact, I can actually walk forward onto their team because their ball is still not on me. Wow. Wow, this game is so free. Wow, I can just stun the ball from behind. So, as you might be able to imagine, you focusing this Ryan opens up angles for the enemy squishies to take. Right, which means the Cass is just going to be able to shoot your team for free. Now, what should you be doing? Going for the Cass, because he's dangerous to your team. The Ryan is dangerous to your team, but he's not killable. You are not going to do anything. You help your team by shooting the squishies. How? How does this help? Let's imagine you are just over here. Like, you know, just, they don't know you're here. The Ryan's on your team. Okay, there's not much you can do about that, but the Bastion's shooting, the Lucia's shooting, and the Brig is, like, going to whip shot him, right? So they're fine. But the Cass is going to take this angle and actually shoot them in the back. So whilst the Ryan is distracting them, the Cass is going to be able to take this angle and shoot them. It is your job to make sure you are disrupting this Cassidy so that the Ryan doesn't get value by letting his Cass have a free angle. Do you get me? So right now, I think just your two biggest problems are that you're going for the tank way too much and you're not setting up properly before the fight. Okay, I don't love the slam because the Genji already kind of saw you were there and was able to get away, but whatever. So now again, like you can shoot this Genji and it's like, sure, but you would get more value from just setting up before the fight and then getting ready to engage when you need to. Does, yeah, okay, cool. I can engage with the Genji, but look at the problem you're having here. Right, the Genji's already in a really bad spot and he can't really do damage to your team, but guess who can? The Cass, the Ryan. Imagine if you're already set up over here. You just quickly grapple in, boop them off. You don't even have to, like, slam them. Because they're on the floor, they're in a really bad spot. You can fucking roll in, boop them off, and then maybe go for the Brig, go for the Mora. See what happens, right? Like this Genji is not really your jurisdiction unless he's super easy to kill. Okay, Briggs in. No, I'm gonna hurt you. Candice, I'm gonna hurt you. There's two reasons why this is really bad. One, because you're slamming in their face, so guess what they can do? They can see you. It's really easy to react to you. The Ryan just holds shield on your slam. Easy. And everyone can see you in the air. Number two, your Brig has rally. So this is a really, like, good ult for starting engagements with. So you don't want to be engaging in front of them. You want to get behind them. Now, one thing you can do is, like, you could roll through them, but you risk getting stunned. So with setting up before the fight, you would already be behind, ready to capitalize on this Brig rally. Imagine, right? You were set up behind over here, and then your Brig rallies. So that's your cue to go in because your Brig pops out. Then you can do a grapple, slam, get 5, and then, like, your team can walk in with rally, the Brig can stun them all, and then, like, you just win the fight, easy peasy. But instead, you grapple in front of them, get booped, and now you've got no slam and no grapple, and you're now useless. I do like this rotation though. I like this. This is what you should have done at the start, like before the fight. Because like now it's too late. It's too late to do this because the rally's already over and the Ryan's already got shattered down. So, like, it's already too late. Like, if you did this literally, like, for 5 seconds earlier, you would have won this fight instantly. Because, like, now everything you're doing doesn't matter because your team is already dead. And, like, your team isn't dead because they suck. Your team is dead because you're not set up properly before the fight. Okay, cool. We're doing this. Is this actually gonna help us win though? I mean, Lucio Briggs over here. Yeah, okay. You know, it's okay timing. It's not great, but it's okay. Why is this timing specifically good? Because your team is fighting a Cass, right? So he needs help. But you're actually distracting people, making sure that he isn't going to get help, like healing and damage on your team, right? So they're easily able to kill him. A Brig before you were here would have been able to go over here and help Cass, but because she's distracted, he's dead. This is what I want you to be doing. Either you shoot people that are shooting your team, distract them because you don't want them to get the damage value, or as your team is fighting someone, you pull attention away from your team onto you so that the player who's fighting your team isn't going to get the healing resource and the damage resource. Okay, you just shoot. Sometimes on ball, you just shoot. Don't worry about like a grapple too much. Just shoot. Literally just shoot. You don't need to do all this crazy stuff. Just shoot. Like, cool, good ult, and I'm glad it worked, but just shoot. Now, in this situation, I would probably go for the Genji here. Why? Because you've already cleared off the area with Minefield, so no one can really walk forward. The Moira can't walk forward unless she fades very quickly, and then you can just kill her. You can't do anything to the Ryan, as we've already established, so don't shoot this guy. The best thing you can do now is peeling for your team. Why? Because it's actually convenient, because there's no one else better to actually shoot. Moira isn't able to help him. You're not going to be able to kill the Ryan, so you may as well just go for the Genji. Cool, I'm shooting a 700 HP Ryan. Yay, I'm doing stuff, guys. You know, sure, the Genji's, was on my team, but I'm shooting Ryan, guys. Why are you shooting Ryan? Shoot Genji, shoot Moira, shoot anyone but the Ryan. Please. Nice. Shoot your gun. Roll in, shoot your gun. Also, why do we use shields here? Am I losing my mind? The reason why you had to use shields is because you went in with low HP. Just let yourself get healed a bit, and then you can roll in and shoot. Because then you're not gonna have to use your shield because you're scared, and then you can actually hard engage for the next fight. Again, we're just like, okay. How can I put this? You don't want to be in the scruffle. In like old cartoons, or like maybe new cartoons, right? A scruffle is like this like cloud, right? And you can see like limbs coming out of it. There's like books and shit. It's like meant to make you interpret a big fight happening in a group. Regularly, you don't want to be in that big fighting group. You want to be on the enemies looking into the group, because this group is just gonna fight. It's an all-out fucking war. You don't know what's going on, but you want to go for the guy looking into the cloud. Why? Because the guy looking into the cloud is going to be way less obstructed, and he's going to be able to get more value. Why? Because everyone's distracted by each other in here, so the Cass is going to be easily able to shoot people. Right? You can see he's able to shoot the Bastion because he's in that scruffle. This is your job to go for the Cass so that he can't even shoot the Bastion in the first place. Now look, Bastion was still going to die to the Shatter anyway. But in principle, he could have maybe survived somehow if you were distracting the Cass. And like now it's too late because they just have ults and you just lose the fight, right? Like it's just over. Yeah. So, just your problem. I'm gonna very quickly go through the next round. Like I'm not gonna analyze it too much because I can already see your problem. Your main problems are going for the wrong targets, commonly going for the tank when you shouldn't, and peeling when you shouldn't. And your second problem is that you just aren't setting up before the fight's well, and if you are, you ruin it by shooting too early. Okay, wait. The Brig sees you, by the way. Okay, does fighting this Brig help you or your team? The answer is no. fighting this Brig genuinely does probably less for you than it does for her. Because she's gonna get the Inspire, she's gonna get the ult charge, and you're gonna lose the element of surprise and health. This is fine. I don't mind this, but it's not great. Let me tell you why. Because on paper, like, it's great. You know that you're a forcing cart, you're distracting the enemies from being able to look over here. But the thing about this is if these guys were playing Ana and Bap, this would be a really, really good play. But the problem is that they're not. They're playing Moira and Brig. What service are they going to provide to their team by healing or doing damage? None. Why? Because they're so far away. So in this situation, you would want to go fight the guys who are actually brawling your team. Why? Because they're the ones who are because they're the only people who can get any value. Now, stalling cart is, it's pretty good. But you can stall the cart by just killing the enemy team a little bit more consistently, right? Because like stalling cart, you're just hoping your team lives. But by actually going for people, then you're distracting people. But again, it's just too late. Okay. Okay, cool. We're setting up behind. I don't know why we've gone all the way around here. We can just be here. You could have just gone in this room. Takes way less time. Lets you set up a lot faster. Okay. Analyze the timing here. Is anyone on their team fighting? I mean, Genji is, but he's just kind of like battling like on his own. He's not really doing anything. So this timing is bad. Why? Because like not a lot of people are distracted. The only person going in is Genji, and there's nothing you can really do for the Genji anyway. He's just going to get forced out really quick. See, now you engage. This is when you engage. And this is so good because you have open sight lines to shoot whoever you want, grapple whoever you want, slam whoever you want. Why? Because of two things. They're distracted and, well, that's it really. They're distracted and you are on an off angle. All of them are looking at the Bastion, so now you engage. Wonderful. Even if you don't get a kill here, this is really good. I don't like how that ended though. I would have rather you have ended up behind them and keep shooting, distract, and then get out when you need to, not disengage in front of them because now it's going to take you a long time to set up. But I really do like this play. This was really good. If you could have ended up like over here or over here and continuing shooting, I really would have liked this. But like I still do like this. I just would have loved it. Okay, cool play. I like that. Why is it good? Because they're distracted by your teammates, right? You can visibly see that they're kind of looking like a little bit like they're looking at at your team. The Rein is shielding, so now you can go in. Number two, this is really good. Why? Because it's on an off angle. They're not paying attention, so it's a free slam, which is going to force attention onto you. Now, I think you could have stayed a little bit and shot. Like you could have stayed for a little bit, shot maybe, and then got on out. But I don't blame you for getting out. Actually, yeah, no. You should just get out because it's three people. All right, shoot. More's on you. Nice. Alright, yeah. Look, your team dying here is just unfortunate. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. I mean, like you might have been able to help actually. Yeah, no, you might have been able to help, but I doubt it. That's just kind of her fault for being in a bad position. It's like, yes, your team died, but like you're still playing correctly, right? Now you go for the Rein. Why? Because he's actually killable. Right, he's really killable. Why? But why? Why is he killable when he's got both supports on cart? Because you distracted them long enough to put them in a really weird position where they can't walk up, which means the Rein has no healing when he actually needs it. So then you can go back and shoot the Reinhardt, which allows you to kill him. Very well done. Okay, well you should have just been in I mean, you didn't really have a lot of health at this point. Yeah, it's a watch that. I mean, we can try and contest for a little bit. Like, I don't hate it. Like, it's not the worst thing ever. Yeah, I don't actually hate that play. Stopping the cart from pushing because it's just more a brig. Okay, now we set up, right? And then we engage when they're distracted. This is perfect. I need you to be doing more of this. Waiter, can I get more of this, please? Right? Why? Okay, why is this good? Again, as I've said, the enemies are already distracted. They're shooting, so this is when you need to go. You don't want to wait too long, but you do want to wait for the enemies to be shooting someone on your team, right? And then you go in. Second reason why it's good. They're not paying attention because they're shooting someone else. But why are they not paying attention to you? Because you're on a different angle. Brig is over here. You're a 90-degree turn to the right. Very nice. And boom. That's all you need to do. Just boot them out. That's it. Nothing more. The Genji sees you. You need to get out. Go to a new angle. That's it. Go to a new angle. So, no. Candice, I'm going to hurt you in real life. Do you want to know what would have made this grapple a lot easier? By just already being behind them. Right? So, like, you shoot them, and then you come in this room, rotate, get behind them, then making this grapple would be a lot easier. The grapple is really hard to do because there's people looking at you, like you're getting put under pressure. You know, Cass is shooting, and then like they know you're here. Now, this is a really good grapple. I didn't even know you could do this, so fair play. But you wouldn't even need to take all that damage. You wouldn't even need to do that weird grapple. You could have just gone behind them, looped up, grapple slam, grapple alt slam. But otherwise, go grapple. I didn't even know you could do that. Okay, we go for the Genji. Very nice. Okay, careful because we don't have our slam. No, our shields. Okay, now we're low. We need to get out. I mean, you can probably fight. Yeah, you should probably just try and distract the Brig and the Moira here. Why? Because you're like they're shooting at your Bastion and your Ana, so you need to just try and go for the distraction here. Yeah, this is fine. Like you're doing the most you can here. Oh, you get. Oh, I mean, you just got shit on, man. What can I say? Unlucky. Right. Okay. We need to set up before the fight. Because board doesn't do very good damage before the fight. So we need to set up. Where do we set up? Well, it's kind of tricky on this map. Because of the way it's laid out. So I'd say. Probably just. It's hard to say, really. Maybe in this building. Maybe in this tunnel. You can engage from here. As they're looking up here. Or if they're further up. Like, let's say they're like. About to turn this corner, you can kind of grapple in from this room, or maybe grapple in from the window if the cart is here. It is kind of tough on this map. Too early. Because I can guarantee you what's going to happen. Your shields get forced out. They're going to use a bunch of cooldowns. You're going to get forced out, and then by the time your team comes back, you're not going to be there when you need to be. Yeah, hinder. Yeah, okay. Now we're taking a bunch of damage, and then we're out. And then like we're gonna try and forcefully engage because we know our team is close by, but it's not good yet. Okay, to be fair, how the fuck did your Brig die so fast? How did Brig die so fast? Oh, I know how she died so fast. Because you're not able to engage. You're not able to engage. Because you engaged earlier. I know how Brig dies so fast. Your team is trying to take space so that they can shoot people. But because you've got in so early here, your cooldowns have gotten forced out. The enemies know where you are. So, like, you're not a surprise. If these guys know boys down here with no shield, no grapple, why the fuck are they going to play safe? They're going to walk up and shoot your team. Now, should your Brig be walking this far in open space? No. Right? But you could have done something about this if you were already set up and actually waiting for your team to make contact and then gone in. Because now your Brig is dead because you're just not able to do anything. Like, cool, you're contesting cart a little bit, but you're not actually helping your team live, which is what is really going to help you contest cart. Cool, we're going to contest cart for like 3 microseconds. But what you should have done is just before set up, and then you can shoot the enemies as they're looking at your team. Now, did your team play perfectly this game? I'm going to say no. I think they've made some pretty obvious mistakes. But did you play perfectly? No. So, Mr. Candice, I don't know your Reddit name. I want you to kind of work on these two things. Number one, you need to set up better before the fight. You need to set up somewhere where the enemies can't see you, so where you can very quickly engage on someone within like a second of your team making contact, right? Like a very good example would be when you were attacking like second point here, and the enemy's kind of stuck on the high ground. A very good setup location would either be in this corner, because you can very quickly grapple over, or over here, or somewhere over here, right? Why? Because you're very close to the enemies, and the enemies aren't going to know you're there because you're behind them. So you have all of the freedom to engage them when you want. So that's how you fix that. So that's how you fix your like engagement timings. And number two, sometimes it's not as pressing of an issue, but sometimes your target priority is really messed up. Sometimes you'll go for the tank when he's not killable, which is going to be 99% of the time for ball. Sometimes you go for the scruffle, like I was talking about earlier, instead of going for the people shooting into the scruffle. And then sometimes you just take random 1v1s, like outside of the fight, that aren't actually going to help your team, right? So just the two key things for target priority is basically don't shoot tank unless they're like the only person alive, or they're just hard feeding. And do your best to shoot enemies who are either going to be able to damage your team whilst your team is distracted by someone else, or someone who is going to be able to support someone doing damage in your team, right? I hope this video was helpful. And to everyone else watching this, I believe I might have another ball coaching video coming out decently soon, maybe in a few days. See you guys next time. Peace.